All right, we got the new Malefic Throne playing in the background in case anybody's curious. If you hear the tunes and you're wondering what it is that's playing, I might go over that at a different date. But today we're going over Flames of Hell, Fire and Steel. Came out in 1987. It's got how many tracks on here? 7 tracks, which we'll be going over the tracks. Kind of, I'll give my opinions on each track, what it reminds me of, what it sounds like, if it's good or not, what I dislike about it, type of thing. So I'm not going to pronounce these dudes' names because they're from Iceland. This came out in Iceland. So we got 2 brothers, one on bass, one on guitar and vocals, and one dude on drums. If you're curious about their names, go on Metal Archives. It's where I got a lot of this information here. But Metal Archives said this is one of the most rarest and most valuable metal items. It was sold for more than $5,000 at a private auction in 2012. So, and I think it's going for more now if you want an original copy. These are just bootlegs. These, I believe it says the original record label that put it out on the side, and then on the back. But it's just a bootleg. I think. I don't think it's the actual record label that put it out in the 80s. So, never been available for retail sales. Only a few copies were handed out to an art dealer and friends back when it came out. And it was never even sold in Iceland, even though these guys were from Iceland. It never sold in Iceland. The only pressings of the LP, or the first pressings of the LP, or the only first pressings, I don't think it was ever officially pressed again. And they actually were pretty much all scrapped due to a incorrect printing on most of the sleeves of the LP. And then only 50 to 100 have ever existed. And the record label, Draconian Records, destroyed pretty much a lot of the copies that they had. So I don't know if it's 50 to 100 that were originally pressed and then a lot of them were destroyed, or they printed over 500 or whatever, and then they only 50 to 100 are only left from what they destroyed. I don't know. Either or, it's not very a lot. And then, obviously, I think the only way you could get it is pretty much if you want it bootlegged now, unless you want to spend, I don't know, thousands of dollars on an original pressing, if there's even any left. So this album was recorded in a YMCA in Iceland, which I think the production is pretty good on here. The bass is really loud on it. The guitar tone's not the best, and the drums are kind of muddy, but I mean, who gives a fuck? It's a 80s underground metal release, so you don't really need a good production. The first song, title track, Fire and Steel, bit of a rough start with the guitar in the beginning. It's just like the guitar isolated. It's a pretty good introduction to what you're going to be getting yourself into, though, with the sloppy playing and shredding. But it adds character to the whole thing, in my eyes. The drumming on this is actually pretty good, and I thought the riff on this one was also pretty good. This song introduces you to the Gilbert Gottfried parrot vocals from Aladdin. That's what they remind me of. He's on this song, he's chanting "Fire!" He keeps doing that, and all in all, pretty decent song. The solo is actually pretty good, which normally they're not on this album. I mean, I don't really care, but if you want, good technique and good playing, you're not really gonna find it on here. And this is all about character, sound, atmosphere. So yeah, I think the whole song I have right here, 7 minutes and 17 seconds. It's kind of on the longer side, but it's actually not even the longest song on the album. Second song, Evil. If you're gonna check out anything from this album, you should check out this song. It's only 4 minutes. Probably the best song on the album too. The long evil shouts, but he says like evil a lot. He goes, evil! He does a lot of those on this. Fucking really good. Really memorable. I'm always walking around the house doing, singing that part. Shredding's actually pretty good on this compared to other songs. And pretty good drums as well as all the other tracks are pretty good instrumentally. Besides like the noodling of the guitar. So what kind of reminds me of this album a little bit is this Rigor Mortis, which I think came out in '86 or '87. Both of these albums have one thing in common, and that's there's no rhythm guitar underneath the solos. It's just bass. So that really makes the bass stand out, and I kind of prefer that on a lot of albums. If anybody has any recommendations for other albums that do that, I like that a lot. I think it really lets you hear the bass a lot more than having a rhythm guitar underneath the solo. So, yeah, like I said, in total 4 minutes. Second song, Heroes in Black. This song has a very heavy intro. In all, the song is very doomy, very slow song, haunting vocals. The solo is pretty sloppy, like all the rest. But after the solo, it goes back into the heavy doomy beginning, so that really adds to the song. This is actually the longest song on the album. It's 11 minutes and 3 seconds. So, but I don't remember it being obnoxiously like long listening to it. It kept me entertained for the most part. The solo kind of took me out at certain parts, but so the fourth song, From the Grave. There's not a lot I can say about this song. It didn't really stand out to me at all. Probably the worst song on the album for me. It kind of sounds like Venom a little bit, which is weird because I probably would have thought I would have liked it if it sounded like Venom, but it wasn't really grabbing me at all. In total, 4 minutes, 24 seconds. The fifth song, Our Time Is Coming, is another heavy doomy track. It reminds me of Celtic Frost a lot. Celtic Frost, whatever you want to say. Frickin' Tom G. Warrior. Yeah, just remind me of that a little bit. Not in a bad way. Some people might think that's bad if they don't like Celtic Frost, but all in all, 4 minutes and 9 seconds. So then we got the second to last song. We got the Cut You Down. Very gloomy intro. Bass sounds louder on this song than a lot of the other tracks, which is fine. It's fucking heavy as hell. Good melodies from the bass underneath the solo. And all in all, it's just 3 minutes and 55 seconds, probably the shortest song on the album. Then we got the last song, which is the band's name, Flames of Hell. This one is very slow and moody, and this track actually reminds me a little bit of Witchfinder General. The music, obviously not the vocals, but yeah, that's just something it reminded me of. Very good outro song. Yeah, like I said, very slow and moody. So if you're into more doomy type of metal, I definitely would check this one out. It's not fast. The playing, like I said, is not the best on it, but the atmosphere is really good, and the vocals are sick as fuck. You'll never hear anybody do this besides, what's that one band, Darkened Nocturnal Slaughter Cult. I kind of heard her do some like witchy vocals. The vocals on this really remind me of like a witch or something in the woods, like very high pitched, but this guy also does some growls on here. Yeah, and the Flames of Hell song is 6 minutes and 39 seconds. All in all, fucking really underrated album from the 80s, but probably due to the fact that it didn't, only 50 to 100 copies survived. So, I mean, what the fuck? No one's really going to know about it. But it has a bit of a cult following now. A lot more people start to appreciate it more. Either, I've heard people say two things. Either it's really unique and the vocals stand out to them, or it's one of the worst things I've ever heard. Due to the fact, with the sloppy solos and probably the goofy vocals too. But I really like it. I like the sloppiness of it, and even the drums and shit are very sloppy to me. It's nothing mind-blowing going on, but it's very simple. I think it's a very decent album, I think. I found out about this band through J-Dog a couple years ago. Just listen to it, let me know what you think. If you listen to it after watching this video, I probably didn't give it the best description for somebody to want to check it out, but if you're into 80s underground heavy metal, black metal, speed metal, death metal, Celtic Frost, Venom, I know I mentioned Rigor Mortis and Witchfinder General. I don't think it really sounds like either of those guys for the most part, but certain elements, like I said. So yeah, just check it out. Thanks for watching.